Why are you doing this nonsense?
I don't know. I just let my actions take place. I was really just mad.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you want to spend the rest of your life in somebody's prison?
I don't know.
Court is calling 2024 CR 0943, State of Texas versus Mackay Williams. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Zachary Munoz.
And are you Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, probation, there's an application. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, we received the discovery on the two cases before.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, we did.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Proceeding on.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with assault on a public servant? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you enter a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, we're proceeding in cause number 2024 CR 2022. And in that cause number as well, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery and state. I'm sorry, sir, on that count, did you review the indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
And state in that cause number, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, you're on. Proceeding on.
No
Any
objection.
objection?
No objection. Your Honor.
And that cause number, the charge is the same as well. So the same admonitions I reviewed with you are the same that apply to that cause number as well. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And each cause number, you have a right to a jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering these plea bargain agreements, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor, he does.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
Mr. Williams, in each of the cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promise you anything other than the pleas?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
In each cause number, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each cause numbers, did you review the plea bargain agreement with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
In each cause number, the state is proceeding on count 1. Punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. The cases will run concurrently. They'll take in consideration in each cause number 2024 CR 2021 000416, 2025 PF 0099 and 2025 PF 00911 and 00912. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph in each cause number with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your probation be for a term of 10 years. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in each cause number to count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I plead guilty.
State any evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, in each cause numbers, did you review the waiver and steps with your attorney? Did you understand them and sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. Do you stipulate that you are the same person listed in the stipulation as Dwayne Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. In each cause number, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And in each cause number, the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we ask to proceed forward with some.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we ask that you follow the recommendation of 10 years probation. My client unfortunately ended up in the system at a young age as a juvenile. That is the underlying sentence that he is currently on parole for. And then these cases resulted while he was in custody at the juvenile detention facilities. Mr. Williams, unfortunately suffers from some anger issues that I think could be addressed while on probation. He had a very troubled childhood, and that is no excuse to go around hitting juvenile corrections facility officers. But I think it paints a picture of Mr. Williams and the unfortunate incidents that have occurred that resulted in the charges before you today. I think placing on probation would be a good way for him to receive the structure that unfortunately he did not receive as a child, and allow him to continue on with his life. He is 19 years old now and wants is hopeful to get this part of his life behind him and start anew.
All right. Do you have any family members in your life, any support system?
Yes, ma'am.
Who?
My mom, my dad.
All right. So then it doesn't appear you had a childhood that didn't have positive influences in it. Were they both positive influences?
Yeah, I met my dad when I was like 14. So it's really mainly my mom.
All right. So your mom, was she a positive influence in your life?
Yeah.
That's either yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So why are you doing this nonsense?
I don't know. I just let my actions take place. I was really just mad.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you want to spend the rest of your life in somebody's prison?
I don't know.
Then at some point in time, people will come before me and they say they had a horrible childhood. What I can tell you is some people have childhoods that's more horrible than others. Some people have what we assume were great childhoods. It turns out it wasn't. But at some point in your life, your horrible childhood can't be your reason for committing crimes. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is with this 46 on your neck?
That was my football number.
All right, so you go from playing football to being in custody. Did you graduate from school?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Taking care of my kid
Oh, you have a child?
on the way.
All right. And what does your parents say about that?
Do better.
Hmm?
Do better.
Yeah. So you graduated from high school. Do you have any other thing to fall back on other than a high school diploma?
I got Mac, mechanical air conditioning trade.
Okay. All right. In each cause number, the court is going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 10 years, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. Each cause number will run concurrent. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month until further notice. 200 hours of community service restitution. You're either going to complete a trade or go to college. And then the court will waive those 200 hours of community service restitution. If you don't want to complete a trade and better yourself so that you can financially support your child, then these 200 hours are going to be spent in the hot sun of Texas, picking trash up alongside the freeway. Do you understand?
Mm.
There's going to be proof of employment within 45 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to order parenting classes and anger management classes. TAP evaluation, follow results. Probation, is there anything else? It can be out of custody. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? I'm gonna get to the other thing. Other than that, is there anything else you need to be successful?
I don't know.
All right, and state, do you have the dismissals that were taken in consideration?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. And the court is signing the dismissals that have been previously stated into the record. Yes, is there anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. We are more than fine with the conditions laid out by the court. Unfortunately, the timeline of the 45 days seeking appointment, we'd ask that that be stayed until he's actually released. Right now, he has a parole hold due to these cases that once they've, are in the system entered as rejected, hopefully parole will lift that parole hold from him so he can get out. But until then, he's gonna remain in custody while parole figures.
All right, Ms. Abrams. That time is to start running upon release. The probation term and also, not the probation term, but the time for the employment and his conditions, because he has parole issues. Yes. All right, did you review the documents entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal in each of these cause numbers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is plea bargain agreement in each cause number, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay? Do better. All right, is the interpreter here on Edgar Aguilar? All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 4709, State versus Edgar Aguilar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Defense?
Megan Enriquez and John Coons for Edgar Aguilar.
And are you Edgar Aguilar?
Yes.
All right, we have an interpreter here. Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Carmen Tarragona Nazar.
All right, so we're here for sentencing today. The jury rendered their verdict. And in count one, the jury found you not guilty of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. They did find you guilty of the lesser included offense of assault. In count two, you were found guilty of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And in count three, you were found guilty of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. We are here today for sentencing. State, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Judge.
All right, do you all need to sit down for this or no?
No.
All right. All right, Lopez, please.
Aguilar.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Victor Lopez.
All right, state.
Mr. Lopez, are you a resident of Bear County?
Yes, I am.
How long have you lived in Bear County?
About 34 years.
Okay, and are you currently employed?
Yes,
What type of line of work do you do?
I do HVAC and maintenance.
And I know you know that you're here regarding an incident that occurred on March 16th, 2023, correct?
Yes.
Okay, do you recall what you were doing that day?
We're coming from the main office that I used to work for, going to another apartment to go work already.
Okay, and when you say leave, who are you referring to?
Yeah, my friend Augustine, he was my coworker and we became friends.
And what kind of car were you driving?
We were driving a black Explorer,
Okay, and do you recall what highway you were traveling on?
we're going 410.
And what direction were you going? Like towards the airport or the opposite?
Towards the airport, we're going towards the airport.
Okay. You were driving, you observed a vehicle acting out of the ordinary.
Yes, I was on the far right lane and on the access road to come into the highway. I noticed it. The reason I noticed is because Augustine says, he told me, what's wrong with this truck? I looked and this truck was trying to hit us, trying to get me off the road.
Do you recall what the truck looked like?
Yes, it was a Dodge Ram, beige.
Okay. And when this was occurring, were you able to observe the driver?
Yes, he looked at me, we looked at each other, and he was throwing up his hands and like cussing me out, and I was like, I don't even know the guy, but he was like, at the same time, he was swerving his truck towards me, and I kept on trying to miss. Every time he would swerve towards me, I would try to, not let him hit me. So,
Okay, and did he hit you?
yeah, eventually he pushed me all the way to the far left lane. It was the right lane, so it was the third lane. And when he pushed me to the third lane, he actually clipped me. And he really hit me, and then that's when I slowed down. And I was surprised, like, man, what's going on? So when I slowed down, he actually slowed down in front of us. And he slammed his brakes, I slammed my brakes. And then he started reversing towards us like really fast. So I recall in the middle of the highway, traffic going the opposite way, and we're going reverse. And he's chasing me, and I'm in the Ford Explorer. And of course, the Dodge Ram is faster, so he caught up to us. He hit me. When he hit me, he got me caught with another car behind me, and he had me there, trapped.
Did you get to see who was driving the car behind you?
Yes, it was a family. It was a guy with his wife and his 3 kids. They were behind me, and you know, he had us there. So yeah.
Just a moment. Excuse me, officer. Yes. Check shirt. No, not you, the person in front of you. Yeah, come around this way. All right, I'm sorry about that. You may continue.
And so were you able to observe who was driving with the car behind you?
Yes, it was a gentleman with his family, with his wife and his 3 kids.
And when the gold truck reversed into you, could you hear or see anything? in the
Yeah.
vehicle?
He had his pen there for, it felt like forever. But I can hear the tires and see the smoke from his tires. Just, he had his trap there and he kept on going and going and going. So I really felt like, man, he's trying to kill us, so.
And at this point, did something occur with your seatbelt?
Yeah, my seatbelt got stuck. I couldn't get out. We had a weapon. It was a gun. We showed the cops and everything. It wasn't loaded. We were trying to scare him off, but I couldn't get off because my seatbelt got stuck. So I told my coworker, "Hey, get off." Try to scare him off. And my coworker got off, went to his side and pointed the weapon at him. Told him, "Hey man, you need to stop." He got off. He says, "Shoot me, shoot me." So he grabs a vacuum pump. The vacuum pump is it's a tool that you use for HVAC. It's about 45 to 55 pounds. He grabbed it and he threw it on my windshield. My windshield busted. So when he threw it on my windshield, I recall running from it because I don't want him to hit me with it because it's pretty heavy. He ran and picked it up and threw it on my coworker, and it landed on my coworker's legs.
And what effect, if any, has this incident had on you?
Oh, my life's changed. I mean, every time I drive or my mother's driving or my wife is driving, any car gets close to us, I just sense to like jump and, like even my wife gets upset, like, man, I'm driving right. Like, well, it's just in me that I jump. Like, it's just, I guess she goes, you got PTSD off of that now. So, I mean, that's something that's changed when I'm on the highway. I'm driving like an old man now, and then people honk the horn at me. I just leave them alone now. Like, you know.
So I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits P1 through P3 inclusive. Have you reviewed these photos before?
Yes.
Okay, and are they a fair and accurate depiction of how things look on the date of the offense?
Correct.
And State's Exhibit P1, can you describe what is depicted in?
That's me and Augustine and the truck that we're driving.
Okay. And in State's Exhibit P2?
It's the windshield where you can see on the windshield on the left bottom side where he threw the vacuum pump at us.
Okay. And State's Exhibit P3?
P3, you can tell, like, even when he was throwing, like trying to hit me, you can see the car in front of us. It's another car that actually clipped me, trying not to hit us while he was, we were going through that.
I'm tendering to defense for inspection, but state offers state's exhibits P1 through P3.
No objection, Judge.
All right, state's exhibits P1, P2, and P3 are admitted without objection. All right, any questions?
Very briefly, when your coworker, Agustin, pulled the weapon on Mr. Aguilar, you said he was saying, "Shoot me," to him.
Mr. Aguilar was saying, shoot me, yes.
Did it appear that he was trying to die by suicide?
Objection.
No, it didn't appear to me because I think I don't think he was trying to kill himself. I think he was trying to kill other people. That's the way I felt.
He didn't have, did he have a gun or a knife or anything like that on him? Did you ever see
Who
Mr.
did?
Aguilar?
He was reaching for, I feel like he was reaching for things to hurt us with, because he tried to hurt us with his vehicle. You know, after that, he got out. When he got out, he went into his truck grabbing stuff. So my coworker had to get on top of his truck and try to stop him from getting stuff from his truck.
And when the gun was pointed at him, he said, "Shoot me."
Yes, he did.
Nothing further.
All right, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
State,
We have infirmary.
all right, defense, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, just our client.
All right, Mr. Aguilar? Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Edgar Aguilar Hernandez.
Edgar Aguilar Hernandez.
All right, defense.
Mr. Aguilar, were you in your right mind on March 16th of 2023?
No,
No,
Do you recall any of the events that happened on March 16th of 2023?
no,
no,
Do you have any memory of all of these accusations and evidence that has been brought against you?
es muy poquito lo que recuerdo, son partes muy cortas.
permítame. It's very little that I remember. They're like short bits and pieces.
Are you embarrassed and horrified to hear all of these things that you were doing on March 16th of 2023?
Claro,
Of
claro que
course,
sí.
of course I am.
How does it make you feel to hear all of these things and to see the video and review all of this evidence?
Fatal, muy mal.
Terrible, very, very bad.
During the 2 weeks leading up to March 16th, 2023, were you under the heavy influence of methamphetamine?
Como ya les había explicado desde el principio,
As I had explained from the beginning,
yo estaba pasando por una crisis de mi vida muy fuerte.
I was going through a very strong, bad crisis in my life.
Yo me quería quitar la vida.
I wanted to kill myself.
No quería hacerle daño a nadie, quería hacerme a mí mismo.
I
No a
didn't
nadie.
want to hurt anybody. I wanted to hurt myself, but not anybody,
No a alguien más.
not
que
anyone else.
hacer esto. Esto ocurrió sin que yo supiera.
This happened without my knowing.
So you do know that you were ingesting these drugs purposefully, right?
Sí, sí la estaba yo ingiriendo
Yes, I was
a
ingesting them,
propósito para quitarme la vida.
purposefully to kill myself, to take my own life.
And what happened as a result of what happened to your mind because of all of these drugs is what led to all of these cases, right?
Exactly.
And you've been in custody for nearly 2 years now, since March 16th of 2023, right?
Sí,
Yes,
And you've obviously been sober and you've had time to reflect on all the, everything that happened on that day and leading up to that day, right?
sí.
yes.
And you've essentially lost your family, right? Your wife and your children.
Todo hasta mi libertad.
Everything, even my freedom.
And it's been an agonizing almost 2 years, just knowing everything that happened and pain you have caused to other people, your family, and to strangers, right?
Exactamente.
Exactly.
And you're not a US citizen, is that correct?
No, tendría nomás un permiso y el proceso de estar aquí
No,
con permiso y seguro ser para trabajar.
no, I only had a permit and I was in the process. I had a permit to work.
You were a resident and you had a work permit, is that correct?
Sí,
And you were in
Yes.
the process of working with an immigration attorney to become a US citizen.
residente.
Resident.
And you know that because of these 2 convictions, that may not happen, and it's very likely that you could be deported to Mexico, is that correct?
Correcto.
Correct.
And you are asking for mercy from this court to give you the minimum, which would be 2 years with credit for the time you've served, so that you can try your best to pick up the pieces and move on with your life, whether that be in Mexico or somewhere else, right?
Se lo pediría con el corazón
I would ask you from the bottom of my heart
que si se pudiera hacer eso,
if you could do that.
pero sé que también se mira mal por los hechos.
But I also know that it looks bad based on the facts.
O sea, cuando lo hace uno intencional, yo creo que sí se merece tiempo.
When you do it
Because-
intentionally, I do think you deserve the time.
Y si llegué a un juicio, no fue porque sea cínico, sinvergüenza,
And if I went to trial, it's not because I'm cynical or shameless,
sino porque yo no estaba consciente, no recordaba todo lo que pasó.
but because I wasn't aware, I didn't remember everything that happened.
Porque también tengo familia y no quisiera que pasara, que le hicieran intencional a mi familia.
Because I also have a family and I wouldn't want someone to do intentionally to my family.
Fue por eso que llevé esto a trial, no por,
That's why I took this to trial,
no porque sea así.
not because I'm cynical.
No further questions.
State, any questions?
Mr. Aguilar, you've been arrested for possession of a controlled substance in Austin, Texas, is that correct?
Por una cerveza.
Ah.
Sí, sí, una botella de cerveza.
Yes, over a beer, yes, a bottle of beer.
And do you recall when you were in custody in the Bexar County Jail, you met with a doctor to evaluate your mental state?
¿En San Antonio?
In San Antonio?
Yes,
Sí.
Yes,
okay. And do you recall reporting to that doctor that you had been doing methamphetamine for at least a year prior to being arrested?
Sí.
yes,
Okay. And so when you were arrested, that wasn't the first time that you had injected methamphetamine, correct?
No, ya tenía más o menos 15 días que era todo de día y noche.
no, it had been like 15 days that I would do it day and night.
Okay. And during this time, you weren't sleeping or doing anything productive?
No,
Honestly, nothing. No dormía más que una hora.
I didn't sleep, but maybe an hour.
And I guess the female victims that testified in the trial, do you recall them when they came in here to testify?
Sí.
Yes,
And you said you didn't know them, right?
No, a
Okay.
nadie
No,
conocí.
I didn't know anybody.
Do you, your home address was that on Rosa Trail?
Sí,
Yes.
Okay, and so you lived on Same Street as those victims, correct?
si viven en esa calle, sí.
If they live on that street, yes.
Okay, and so you followed them from that street to where the incident occurred on 410, right?
Ah, cuando me pregunta que si las iba siguiendo, no recuerdo esas partes que me dicen que
When you're asking me if I followed them, I don't remember those parts where you're,
Okay. And are you aware that the doctor's conclusion was that you were not suffering from any severe mental or defect at the time that you engaged in this conduct?
sí, padezco de migraña.
yes, I suffer from migraines.
Okay. We have no further questions now.
All right.
I just
Any
wanted to
follow-up?
clarify one thing briefly. You had been using methamphetamine for a whole year prior to March 16th of 2023, correct?
No, casi, no un año, era como entre como 6 meses de lo que pasó para atrás.
Not a year, like saying it's 6 months before what happened.
Quite some time before the March 16th of 2023, right?
Sí,
Yes,
But you were using it in what you thought were lethal dosages to try to take your own life about 2 weeks prior to the incident.
exacto.
exactly.
And are you extremely sorry for what happened to that woman and her daughters?
Vuelvo a decir, sí, sí me siento fatal, me siento
I will say it
triste
again,
por todo lo que pasó.
I feel horrible. I'm very sad about everything that happened.
And just to be clear, you don't remember them being your neighbors, correct?
No,
But you're
No.
just saying you did live on Rosa Trail, and if they did live on Rosa Trail, then y'all were possibly on the same street.
sí,
But you have no
Yes, yes.
recollection of these people from being your
No.
neighbors. Okay.
no.
No,
there any-
no.
Is there anything else that you want Judge Boyd to know that she hasn't already heard in the trial or here today that you would like her to consider before she makes her decision?
Lo único es la condena no sea como si fue en los 5 sentidos.
The only thing would be that the conviction, the sentence isn't as if I had done it in with my 5 senses.
Pues como dijo la abogada, si pudiera la condena reducir.
Like the attorney mentioned, if you could reduce the sentence.
All right. Any other questions, defense?
Nothing further, Judge.
State, any further questions? All right. Any other witnesses, defense?
No, none from the defense.
State, any rebuttal witnesses? All right, the court will hear argument and state.
Judge, we're asking for 10 years and TCJ. I will agree with what the defendant and his counsel have represented. His conduct on that day was embarrassing and horrifying. And the 3 victims, Raquel, Fatima, and Brittany, also found it horrifying. And then the punishment witness that we brought in today, Victor, also found it horrifying. So much to the fact that Brittany, Raquel, and Fatima, I mean, Your Honor, I would ask you to take judicial notice of the evidence that was presented in the trial. But the court was able to observe their demeanor when they came in here, and they're still very much in fear over what happened on that day. And Mr. Lopez, who testified today, testified that he believed that the defendant was trying to kill him on that day. And so that's why we asked the money.
All right. And then with regards to the lesser included offense.
I'll defer to it.
All right. defense?
Yes, Your Honor, just brief argument. You sat through the whole entire trial. I think it's undisputed that he was under the influence of methamphetamine combined with alcohol. He was attempting to take his own life. He's horrified to learn. He has very little memory of what occurred on that day, and he's been horrified for the past 2 years to learn more and more details of what happened that day, to see himself on video, to hear from these witnesses and hear their experience. We are not condoning his behavior. He's not excusing his behavior. However, I would like the court to also just consider and take note that he's not a United States citizen. He's had an ICE hold at the jail throughout the time he's been in custody since March 16th of 2023. Because of these convictions, there are second-degree felonies, aggravated offenses. We believe that it's like the likely outcome is that he will be deported in light of these convictions. So based on that, he has almost 2 years in custody. March 16th, 2020 of this year will be 2 years. We ask that the court sentence him to the minimum and then come what may on the immigration front, and that way he could try to rebuild his life in Mexico and try to find family. He does have an ex-wife and 3 minor children here that when prior to this incident, he did help financially support. His wife, or excuse me, ex-wife wasn't able to be here due to obligations with the children, but we are in contact with her. She did represent to us that he did financially provide for her and the children leading up to this event. So with that, and with all the evidence you've heard, especially his mental state at the time, we ask that you sentence him to 2 years TDC.
All right, and with regards to the lesser included offense?
We'll also defer to the court.
Everybody's deferring to the court on, I want to know what you all are asking for.
Yeah, that's a class C, so.
So it's, as a class C, I believe the range of punishment for that is $0 to a $500 fine. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, so I think, not that I'm saying that it's not important. There is no imprisonment associated with that. So whether I give a $0 fine or not, and these fines that are collected, no one knows where they go. So with regards to count 1, the lesser included offense of assault, I'm going to do a $0 fine on that one. Now, with regards to counts 2 and counts 3, Mr. Aguilar, I understand that sometimes we do things, maybe we're under the influence of drugs. It is no doubt in my mind that you were under the influence of some type of substance based upon the testimony that the court heard. And based upon the officer saying there was dos equis in the vehicle that had been consumed and some that were not consumed, and also based upon the finding of meth. I understand that sometimes if we were not under the influence of certain things, that we would behave differently. But as you know, and as your attorneys know, voluntarily consuming drugs or alcohol is not a defense to anything. It may be used as mitigation to say, this is why I behaved in a certain way. So I understand that. So no one has addressed this issue for the court. Other than this case, does he have any criminal history? I know there was a mention of him having alcohol or some type of drug substance in Austin. Is there anything else?
Judge, as far as convictions go, he did have state jail trip on a possession in less than a gram. That's all that I'm aware of.
All right. Anything else from either side before I pronounce sentence? All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Counts 1, 2, and 3 are to run concurrently. Count 1, there's a $0 fine And the reason why I'm giving a $0 fine as opposed to a $500 fine is, first off, no one knows where those fine monies go. Legally, and what I've read, I know where it's supposed to go. But when people are looking for those fees that have been deposited, no one can find them. So that's why I'm giving you a $0 fine on that. Counts 2 and counts 3. In each of those cases, the court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon in each of those counts. And the court will give you credit for any time served. Is there any restitution for the complainants? I know there was a shattered glass.
They have told us that the vehicle was totaled, but she wasn't able to provide any receipts.
All right, so, and who was the owner of the vehicle?
It was not done.
All right, so I'm gonna do restitution, if any, to the complainant, and nobody presented any restitution for the gentleman who testified for his vehicle. So there will be a restitution, if any, to. Let me, just one moment, sorry. To Raquel Ildefonso Ortega. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from the defense.
And I'm trying to see if I have a trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal. Did y'all do one?
I don't recall.
All right, thank you. And are you all going to, thank you. And Mr. Aguilar, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes,
All right, you have a right to appeal because this was a jury trial, but because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. And also, I'm going to request for you, the therapeutic community. I have no jurisdiction for your placement in the program, but if you let them know that you would like to be a part of the program, they'll see that I requested it as well. And perhaps they can help you with your sobriety and also any mental health issues. Is there anything else from either side?
Not from the state.
Nothing, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, Mr. Aguilar. Thank you.
it's my pleasure, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, have a great one.
Thank you, you too.
$15 লাখ টাকা পেয়ে গেলেন, এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই, এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না, সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আমার রেসিপির নাম হলো ভেলভেটি কোকোয়া ক্রেভিং।
জান্নাত, কি করেন আপনি?
আমার একটা অনলাইন পেজ আছে যেখানে বাসায় ফুড বানিয়ে সেটা কি বলে সেল করি। কারিগরি প্রশিক্ষণ কেন্দ্র থেকে কয়েকটা বেকিং এবং কুকিংয়ের উপরে সার্টিফাইড কোর্স করেছি এবং বর্তমানে এখন ডিপ্লোমা কালিনারি ম্যানেজমেন্টের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা করছি।
কেন এত পড়াশোনা করেছেন কালিনারি নিয়ে?
নিজেকে একজন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হিসেবে দেখতে চাই।
যখন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হয়ে যাবেন, আমি লাস্ট 7 বছর ঈদে কখনো ছুটি নেইনি। সো ঈদ কমপ্লিটলি গন, হলিডেজ কমপ্লিটলি গন। ফ্যামিলি এটা রাজি হবে? ফ্যামিলি মানবে?
আমি 8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না, সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আর চাকরি যখন করেছি তখন আমার ছেলেকে আমার মা, আমার বোন ওরা হলো কি দেখাশোনা করেছে।
আপনার কেন মনে হচ্ছে যে সেরা রাঁধুনি সেই প্ল্যাটফর্ম যেটা আপনাকে শেফ হতে সাহায্য করবে?
যারা এই কালিনারি জগতে আসতে চায় তাদের জন্য একটা সেরা প্ল্যাটফর্ম হলো সেরা রাঁধুনি। সব কিছু একটা শক্ত হাতের প্রয়োজন হয় কোনো কিছুতে সামনে আগিয়ে যেতে, তো আমার কাছে শক্ত হাত সেই সেরা রাঁধুনিটা।
শেফ আমরা কি করতে পারি বলেন?
নিয়ে যাই,
ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে
ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে দিচ্ছি।
4 বছরের অপেক্ষা।
কি নাম তোমার?
ফাতেমা খাতুন ঋতু।
কি বানিয়েছো আজকে?
ডেজার্ট বানিয়েছি হানি সানফ্লাওয়ার। আমি এখানে বাকলাভা করছি ক্রিম চিজ দিয়ে, যেখানে আমি ক্রিম চিজে ইউজ করেছি হানি।
সো দিস ইজ আ বাকলাভা।
বাকলাভা এবং চিজ,
আউটার লেয়ারটা বাকলাভার
এবং উপরে চিজ কেক,
চিজ কেক, এন্ড দেন দিস
দম চিকেন, আর ওইটা নান বানাইছি আমি।
এই দুটো রেসিপি থেকে যদি যে কোনো একটা সিলেক্ট করতে হয়, আমি যদি বলি আপনাকে আমি একটার জন্য মার্ক করব, সেটা কি হবে?
তাহলে বাকলাভা চিজ কেক।
কেন?
বাকলাভা আমার বেকিং খুব ভালো লাগে করতে।
কয়েকটি কুইজিনের নাম বলেন।
আচ্ছা, মানে আমি ইতালিয়ান, তারপর এইভাবে বলবো কি, পাস্তা, তারপর পিৎজা। ইন্ডিয়ান কুইজিনের মধ্যে আসে বিরিয়ানি, তারপর হলো বিভিন্ন ধরনের রায়তা, রাবড়ি, এগুলা। আর টার্কিশ ডেজার্ট করেছি। টার্কিশ ডেজার্টে বাকলাভা তো আসেই। থাই কুইজিনে হলো টম ইয়াম স্যুপ আছে, তারপরে হলো থাই ফ্রাইড রাইস আছে। একটু
লেটস সে আমরা আপনাকে আজকে সিলেক্ট করলাম, আপনি শোতে এসে শো জিতে গিয়েছেন,
ওকে।
15 লাখ টাকা পেয়ে গেলেন, এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই। এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
যতটুকু হোক,
বাকিটা
ছোট হোক বা বড় হোক, যতটুকু হোক আমি করব।
যদি আজকে এখানে সুযোগ না পান, তাহলে কি আপনার জার্নিটা থেমে যাবে?
না না না, অবশ্যই না, আমি আবার চেষ্টা করব।
আই লাইক দ্য স্পিরিট। আপনার ফুডের টেস্ট ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এখন খুশি হতে পারেন। আপনাকে যখন 15 লাখ টাকা জিতেছেন, আপনি ইমাজিন করতে বলছে আপনি অনেক খুশি হয়ে গিয়েছিলেন।
না না, এমন কিছু না। ঢাকা অবধি যাই, তখন হয়তো ইমাজিন করতে পারবো যে আমি অনেকটা একটা ধাপ হলেও এগিয়ে আসতে পারছি।
ইমাজিন করেন আপনি ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা,
পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
সত্যি?
জি, চলে আসুন।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
Mình đã tô xong bức tranh về chú mèo nha. Các bạn hãy quan sát lại bức tranh mình đã hoàn thiện này. Để theo dõi các video tiếp theo, các bạn nhớ bấm like cho mình nhé. Xin chào các bạn. Hello, xin chào các bạn đến với kênh YouTube của mình nha. Hôm nay chúng mình cùng nhau tô màu bức tranh về một chú gà mái này, một chú gà mái hoa mơ này. Chúng mình cùng tô màu nha. Một chú gà mái với cái bộ chân rất là sần sù, như kiểu chú ấy là một chú gà mái rất già rồi ấy. Nên mình sẽ tô cái màu của nó là màu đỏ nhá. Đây này, đây là cái màu đỏ này. Mình sẽ tô cái phần màu trên đỉnh đầu trước nha. Mình đang tô cái phần màu của chú gà. Mình đã tô xong cái phần màu với cái màu đỏ này rồi nhá. Giờ mình sẽ tô sang phần mỏ này. Để cái màu nâu. Đây là cái màu nâu này. Mình sẽ dùng cái chì ngòi nhỏ này. Một cái mỏ rất là sắc nhọn.
আমি আছি বগুড়ায়, আর বগুড়ার সব সেরা রাঁধুনিরা তাদের হাতের খাবার নিয়ে চলে এসেছেন। কেমন করছেন তারা, চলুন দেখা যাক। দর্শক, অসংখ্য প্রতিযোগীর মধ্য থেকে প্রাথমিকভাবে বাছাইকৃত প্রতিযোগীরা আজ হাজির হয়েছে বগুড়াতে। প্রত্যেকের স্বপ্ন একটাই, হতে চায় সেরা রাঁধুনি, এবং একটু পরেই তারা মুখোমুখি হবে বিচারকদের। তারা কি ভাবছেন, মনের মধ্যে কিরকম দুশ্চিন্তা হচ্ছে, কে কি রেসিপি নিয়ে এসেছেন এবং তাদের জন্য কতটা সহজ হবে ঢাকায় যাওয়ার টিকিট পাওয়া, কথা বলবো প্রতিযোগীদের সাথে, দেখি তারা কি ভাবছেন। কেমন আছেন?
ভালো আছি, আপনি ভালো আছেন?
আপনার রেসিপি কি?
আমার রেসিপিটা হচ্ছে ক্যারামেল অরেঞ্জ ইয়োগার্ট।
ওকে, এটার মূল ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস কি?
এটার মূল ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্ট হচ্ছে দই, বগুড়ার বিখ্যাত দই। আমি সেটা দিয়ে ফিউশন করার ট্রাই করেছি।
আপনি এর আগেও অংশ নিয়েছিলেন সম্ভবত 1427 এবং গ্র্যান্ড অডিশন থেকে বাদ পড়েছিলেন, রাইট?
রাইট।
এবারের রেসিপি কি?
এবারের রেসিপি হচ্ছে আমার চকলেট মোকা স্ট্রবেরি চিজ কেক। অল আর মাই সিক্রেট রেসিপি, সো আই এম ভেরি এক্সাইটেড।
কুমু, কেমন আছেন?
ভালো আছি, আপনি কেমন আছেন?
খুব ভালো। এর আগে 1427-এ লাকি 7 থেকে বাদ পড়েছিলেন। এবার কি মনে হচ্ছে?
প্রথমবারের যে অভিজ্ঞতা, বর্তমানে আমি তারপর আরো 2 বছর সময় নিয়েছি, শিখেছি, তো নিজেকে এবারে তৈরি করে এনেছি, ইনশাল্লাহ ভালো কিছু একটা হবে।
আপনার রেসিপির মূল বৈশিষ্ট্য কি?
আমার রেসিপির মূল বৈশিষ্ট্য হচ্ছে গ্রাম্য নিয়ে এসেছি, মানে আমার গ্রামের যে জিনিসপত্র সে প্রেজেন্ট করবো।
একসঙ্গে কতজনের রান্না করতে পারবেন?
আমি যদি বলি, এখন আমাদের বাসায় যত গেস্ট আসে আপ টু 20।
একটু কি ভয় লাগছে?
হ্যাঁ, একটু ভয় কাজ করছে, কারণ ফার্স্ট টাইম কোনো রিয়েলিটি শোতে আসছি।
তারপর আপনার জন্য শুভকামনা রইল।
সো মাচ।
দর্শক, ভয় তো লাগবেই, এবং এই ভয়কে জয় করাই হচ্ছে যে কোনো প্রতিযোগীর কাজ। সেরা রাঁধুনি কিন্তু একটা লম্বা প্রতিযোগিতা, এবং এই রেসে টিকে থাকার জন্য আপনাকে অবশ্যই অন্যদের চাইতে বেটার রেসিপি দিতে হবে, এবং সেই রেসিপির মধ্য দিয়ে কিন্তু যারা আমাদের বিচারক রয়েছেন তাদের মন জয় করতে হবে। সো দেখা যাক কি হয়, আমাদের সঙ্গেই থাকুন। দর্শক, আমাদের মাঝে বিচারকেরা চলে এসেছেন। একটু পরেই শুরু হবে ফুড টেস্টিং এবং সেই সাথে জাজমেন্ট। আমি এবার কথা বলবো আমাদের বিচারকদের সাথে, দেখি তারা কি ভাবছেন। ওয়েলকাম টু বগুড়া অডিশন। কি খবর?
ভালো, তুমি কেমন আছো?
আমি খুব ভালো আছি, এবং আমি ভুল না করলে এবার দিয়ে বোধহয় 5ম বারের মতো আপনি আসলে বিচারকের দায়িত্ব পালন করছেন। বগুড়ার প্রতিযোগী, সর্বোপরি এবারের প্রতিযোগীদের নিয়ে আপনার কি বলার আছে?
প্রত্যাশা তো অনেক বেশি, কারণ বগুড়া সবসময় সব সিজনেই অনেক ভালো ভালো পার্টিসিপেন্টস আমরা পেয়ে থাকি সেরা রাঁধুনিতে। তো এবারেও আমি আশা করছি যে অ্যাটলিস্ট টপ 5 পর্যন্ত যেন যেতে পারে, এরকম পার্টিসিপেন্টস আমরা এখান থেকে নিয়ে যেতে পারি, এটাই আমাদের প্রত্যাশা।
শেফ নাইম আশরাফ দ্বিতীয়বারের মতো সেরা রাঁধুনির অডিশনের দায়িত্ব পালন করছেন বিচারকের। কেমন লাগছে বা কি মনে করছেন এবারের এই আয়োজন নিয়ে?
সেরা রাঁধুনি গত সিজনে আমরা রংপুর দিয়ে শুরু করেছিলাম, সো এবার বগুড়াতে নতুন পার্টিসিপেন্টসদের খাওয়া ট্রাই করার জন্য ভেরি এক্সাইটেড। রেসিপি সিলেকশনে আমি সবগুলো রেসিপি দেখেছি, সিলেক্ট করেছি, সো ওগুলো খাওয়ার জন্য এবার এখানে আশা করি অনেক ভালো পার্টিসিপেন্টস বগুড়া থেকে পাবো।
অনেক অনেক ভালোবাসা। আমার মনে হয় আমি আর সময় নষ্ট না করি, আপনার ভেতরে চলে যান।
তোমাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ। দর্শক, আমাদের প্রধান 2 বিচারককে তো পেয়ে গেছি, কিন্তু বগুড়াতে রয়েছেন আমাদের আরও একজন অতিথি বিচারক। তিনি ঠিক কোথায় আমি এখনও জানি না, তাকে খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না। তিনি এলেই কিন্তু শুরু হয়ে যাবে আমাদের মূল অডিশন রাউন্ড।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
Mình đã xong con nhím với cái màu nâu này nhá. Phần những lá mình sẽ tô bằng màu xanh. Những chòm cây mình cũng tô bằng màu xanh nha. Đây nữa nè. Đây là các phần cái cây nhỏ ở dưới của một cái tán lá cây to nhá. Những cây cỏ nhỏ ở dưới á. Phần gốc cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nè. Thân cây. Đây là cái màu nâu nha. Phần thân cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nha. Một gốc cây cổ thụ rất là to. Với tán lá này mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu xanh lá này nhá.